Okay, good morning, everyone. And I hope you're having as lovely as a morning as I'm having. And yes, I am Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in My 30s, we are once again around the lovely campfire. And yeah, we're going to be making some mapo tofu. Right now I've got my tea kettle on the fire right now, and slowly gonna get some water going, get some tea going, and then we'll start prepping some ingredients and all that fun stuff. So yeah, and I feel like that's enough of a early introduction, and now I'm gonna just kind of like, I don't know, just like, yeah, talk about stuff, whatever. Since this is my, ooh, sorry about that. Oh, hey again from India, how you doing, bro? I am doing great. Welcome in, ST 1999. I have managed to pull off a feat that very few individuals can, and I'm very proud of that. And what that feat is yesterday I drank 7 beers, but between yesterday and today I have lost weight. The primary reason for that is I've been having to move a lot of wood chip mulch in my garden, because usually when I have a delivery of mulch to the homestead, they drop it in the driveway. Well, the people who did it last time got really ambitious and actually dropped it in the garden, which I was like, okay, it's never happened before, but that's fine because this happened in like late fall. So I was like, okay, I have plenty of time to get this mulch moved before like spring comes and I actually have to start worrying about sticking plants in the garden. Well, this winter for my location on the rotation has been very cold, and very cold mulch is frozen and I can't shovel it and move it as easily. So I was really behind the 8 ball on getting room freed up in the garden. So between Friday and yesterday, I moved over 40 wheelbarrow loads of mulch, and I now have enough room in my garden to actually plant my peas sometime this upcoming week. So I have been waking up very sore the past few days, but this also means my body is building. Well, it's a good sore too. I haven't pulled any muscles. I haven't like really injured myself or anything. I have done physical labor, and my body feels like I have done physical labor, and that is a good thing. And because of all this physical labor and muscle growing, I actually lost weight. So really impressed, really proud of myself for that, even though, well, granted, I mean, like Saturday was like my big day for beer, especially because I was also brewing beer yesterday. I was actually gonna do that as a guerrilla, but because of all the physical labor I've been doing and just generally being achy, I'm like, I'm not gonna have the energy Saturday night to stream. So I was wanting to do a guerrilla of that, but I didn't do that. So I'm here today. I'm reasonably well rested, doing pretty good. I'm really glad I started prepping for stream as soon as I did, because I had to set up my canopy, which is actually this shadow line you see here, and you kind of see this like kind of generally where I am and being a shadowy area. That is because my fire pit is in full sun, and it is. I'm looking for a cloud and I cannot find a cloud. There's no clouds. So traditionally, I have been accosted, assaulted, brutalized by the nuclear fireball in the sky when I do these streams. Also partly because how I'm facing, that's east. Well, actually, I think east is technically a bit more this way, but the sun's right there for now. So doing this stuff while I'm also trying to like make sure like all the streaming stuff is working is really challenging when the sun's in my face. So I threw up the canopy this morning, and Should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. The sun is gonna probably eventually move out of the canopies direction, but today's also probably gonna be pretty quick. Because this recipe does not take a whole lot of amount of time. I'm probably gonna, well, actually, I'm not even gonna say probably. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just say I'm gonna be taking it really easy with the prep for today. Because, yeah, because I wanna, because I should have linked the recipe, but the recipe is from the website Walks of Life, which is a really good place for recipes. I really like how they format things, even though they still do the thing that like every recipe site does, and they just tell you this really long-winded extended story before they actually give you the recipe, but they're a little bit better about it. And I do like the fact that as a individual who is a household of one, it's actually really nice to be able to scale the recipe, because I got like a little slider that scales the recipe. Because when I was first looking at the recipe, I was like, okay, I need this, this, and this. And then I double checked the servings, and it was like 6. And I was like, I don't need 6 servings of this. I need like 2. Granted, I have been, once again, I've been doing a lot of physical labor. I can definitely put down some food right now. I made a whole bunch of soup yesterday. Real nice. My tea water, I think, is about ready. Get some, actually, nope, I am handling the cast iron. Gloves that can handle cast iron. Because the goatskin gloves will burn easily. They're better than some other gloves I have for like handling heavy hot stuff. But let's see here. How steamy are you? Ooh, nice and steamy. Very nice, very nice. Whoa! What was that? Please don't move like that, streaming setup. One, two. Set that on the ground. Move this over. Yeah. Reasonable. And I'm gonna set the T-bill back. What I'm trying to do is just kind of like get it off to the side, where it's being warmed by the fire, but it's not. Yeah. Well, India's not in the morning, but it's always a good time for tea. I'm pretty sure it's dark there. It's an Indian tea is in our blood. Nice. As someone from America, tea is something we fight about. Which, the fight that I have to fight is in my neck of the woods. I live in the part of America where everyone thinks tea should be sweet, and I actually have a coworker who thinks that tea is not good unless you can take a spoon and stand it in the tea. Like really, really, really sweet tea. And it's like, nah. Super sweet tea is not for me. Sucks. One time I actually bought some, I actually bought sugar-free tea, but it still had sweetener in it, and I was like, what have I done to myself? Like, the amount of attention I have to pay when I go to, like, a convenience store or something to, like, get tea, I have to pay a lot of attention to avoid getting something that has, like, a terrible amount of sugar in it. And Americans wonder why we are so large. Because we put sugar in everything, and sugar's very not good for you. So, I'm gonna go ahead. So, since I've got my tea, go ahead and start prepping. Nah, too sweet is not for everyone. Health, man. Yeah. Like, I like my beer. I am a man who enjoys his beer. But, well, actually, I shouldn't even keep really saying but. It's just, I enjoy my beer. That is my one vice. And otherwise, I try to live a reasonably healthy life. Actually, the cold frame build that I was working on, that one, the primary reason I built it was to get a sooner start on lettuce season for salads. I am a huge fan of salads. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start. I've got like a chili pepper. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll be dicing this. Okay, I really hope the mic did not pick that up. So we're gonna just go ahead and dice this pepper up, get it into nice small chunks. Doesn't look like my cut went through. Bottom. See here, I got a whole bunch of seeds. Honestly, this is supposed to be a hot dish, but we're gonna go ahead and incorporate the seeds because we definitely want to have a lot. Well, actually, a lot of the heat in the pepper. For example, with pepper this small, but the white, like white tissue that's like around the seeds, it's actually where a lot of the heat's concentrated. So if you have like a pepper that's a little too hot for your palate, then you can cut some of that stuff out and you can get a cooler pepper. Getting those knife off into the fire. One of the fun things about having a nice fire like this is easy disposal of organic waste, if you will. Peppers prepped. Pull. How's my tea? Ooh, okay. As much as it was steaming, I was expecting it to be warmer. But that's actually not bad. But it's try rubbing your eyes. Oh no. Oh, granted, I actually have a defense against rubbing my eyes right now, and that is wearing Megane. Wearing glasses. Glasses are the defense that keep me from doing the thing that hurts myself. So, next up, we've got the green onions. I gotta get this packaging on. I'm not gonna burn rubber in my campfire. I am. Let's see. I think three. Three should be plenty. Three green onions. That will go there. Boop. Love onions, especially fried. Yes. Onions are very loved. Red onions. Ooh, red onions. Yeah, those are good. Red onions are really... I like red onions in like a sandwich. Like red onions in a sandwich are pretty good. Ooh, salads. Yeah. Good salad. Definitely a big fan of onion. And even though onions are very cheap from like the grocer and such, I still try to grow my own because it's just nice to grow a crop you actually like really like, but also I really want to just make sure I always have like a supply of onions on hand. Which I've actually got like a Japanese variety of onion that's really good. I think it's Heshiko. Heshiko. It's a bunching green onion. It's real nice. Real nice. Definitely. It's actually been it was literally a plant I got just because I'm a weeb. I'm a weeb who gardens. So I was like, hey, we'll just try, we'll just get this because I'm a weeb and try it out, and it was really good. It performed quite well, and I got really good harvests off of it, and the flavor was there. It was a really good crop to have. Which, granted, it would be real nice to actually like do a stream where, well, actually, if I could figure out some way to do like a mobile camera, it'd be real fun to just do a thing where like we go out into the garden. The garden's like right over there, and grab some veg and actually make some food with it. Around my state, there's an excess production of everyday vegetables, so it's good that we get a lot cheaper price. Nice. And on a healthy 90%. Yeah, sad for the farmers though. Yeah, that's like one of the messed up things about farming is when one farmer is making money, all the other farmers are making money because the harvest is all coming in at the same time, assuming they are growing the same thing. That's actually a good amount of green. Sure, we might. But last week I harvested spinach from my garden as well. Nice. It was so delicious. I was very happy eating that meal. Nice. Nice. I've tried growing spinach and I haven't had much success with it, so I've kind of gave up, and I'm just now firmly in camp lettuce as far as like leafy greens. Well, actually, I do eat. So I'm a weirdo who will actually harvest and eat some wild greens. Granted, a lot of the wild greens that grow where I am, yeah, the flavor's not super great. Actually, one of the better ones is a small plant called chickweed. Latin name is Stella media, and it is one of the better tasting ones because it doesn't have a bitter flavor, but it tastes exactly like corn silk. Like the little like silks on an ear of corn, they taste exactly like that. We're all weirdos on our own way. Yes. Granted, I will also eat. I will make salads out of two plants, both in the Lindopodium genus. One's purple dead nettle, the other is not chickweed, but it's similar. I'm trying to think of the common name. Henbit. That like it's related to chickens. But purple dead nettle and henbit. Yeah, you can make a salad out of those. It is perfectly edible. The plants are actually in the greater mint genus. Well, family, not genus. They're in the Lindopodium genus. Yes, but they are very bitter. They are very bitter greens. Okay. Crib. So I think this is the last thing I have to dice up for today, and that is the tofu. I'm just gonna crack my container and I'm gonna just drain it right quick. Because I don't want to get a whole bunch of... Just don't want to get a whole bunch of tofu water on my little work area, even though this workbench, well, what I call a workbench is literally just a small piece of plywood that I've just used for many streams, to the point where you even see I've burnt some of it. Now if I can just get out. Let's rely on my knife for this. But yeah, it's real cool. You actually can get like really good access to like grains like that. Makes me wish I had a farmer's market closer where I live, but which there are some farmers markets closer to where I am, but I do have to like travel a little bit. Well, not even like, for me it seems like a little bit. It's not really. I just don't like driving. If I can avoid driving, I will. Places like that. Or lucky. Just be able to do this, and we'll get some nice cubes. Those look like... Here we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Stay on, as long as you stay on the cutting board, good. But I can't use you if you... My work tray. Work tray is not that... I mean, granted, it doesn't matter a whole lot, though. All this stuff is going to get thrown into a very warm fire. Oh yeah. There we go. We've got the tofu prepped for today. I need off somewhere where I can somewhat have access to it. I'm gonna sip some tea. Pretty sure I'm done with the cutting board, but I'm look through my ingredients. Yeah. Cutting board anymore. That's gonna go off to the side. Or my tea kettle, because that's gotta come off. Hopefully. I'm gonna manipulate a grill grate, get this into position. Get into cooking here in a little bit. Then that out. Reasonably good spot. Poke the fire a little bit. I should get it pretty. Hopefully I get a good amount of this. Okay. So I now need skillet. And I'm also gonna just... I'm gonna... Since February, I've joined under tax lawyer to practice taxes and everything. Cool. Long hours, very tiring. What to say? I've left my work as an accountant this January for the next few years. Be my life. Okay, okay. Neat. After that, I'll move to the mountainside and start doing my work there. Greenery, peace. Nice. Very nice. It was cool to hear people having a game plan. Or like what they want to, like, what they want out of life. I mean, I've got a decent like chunk of land. I've planted quite a few amount of trees, but my dad is confused. He's not. Some people just don't understand, like, just being like out in nature and just the fulfillment that comes from that. Like, some people are definitely like city people, and other people just want to more like be around like nature and such. Me personally, I'm definitely more. I like being around nature, but I also like having access to society, if you will. I am definitely a fan of. Well, I'm a huge fan of Costco. I am a huge fan of the Costco. And I gotta live near a Costco, because Costco is love, Costco is life. But past that, give me as much nature as I can get. Which that is like the only benefit of living in America, is because America is like absolutely massive, and there's room, and land can be reasonably cheap. Granted, housing prices have gotten stupid over like the past 5 years, like greater than what they should. So okay, cool. Go on a low heat. So I'm going to be over here on this side. So this is going to be my low heat area. And then over here, I'm going to have my more high heat. Going into this, we're going to do olive oil. A bit of olive oil in there. What we're going to be working on is cooking our peppers in oil. And then I'm going to be using red pepper flakes. And this is going to be like what brings a lot of the heat to the dish. And it looks like once my fire pit's not level. It's stable. I did check for stability prior to stream. The more I get older, the more I hate seeing concrete. Yeah, I have seen images of how like places in like Southeast Asia and like various other parts of Asia, and yeah, Asia's very pro concrete. Still laugh at people admiring green nature before foolish judgmental team. And I mean, the thing is like we all change as we like age and go through life. Like that is a 100% normal thing. I mean, I've generally been pretty pro nature, but I've gotten more pro nature as I've gotten older. Definitely a lot more into like gardening and just other stuff. Granted, one of my reasons is for being like so into gardening is primarily because of how much I dislike lawns. Because here in America, every house is surrounded by lawns, and it's like land is supposed to be a productive asset. The land that my house sits on, like literally the foundation of the house, that is good land. That is land that is producing housing. Land that is just green grass that is a whole bunch of work to maintain. I don't get anything out of that. I don't get anything out of the grass. I don't have sheep. I don't have sheep. I don't have pasture. I don't have cows. So I've planted trees that produce fruit. Well, yeah, I have done some fruit trees. Granted, I'm mostly the thing I'm most excited for is the chestnut trees I planted, but I've also have like gardening area, so that is land that is producing food. Land's supposed to be, yes, land is always supposed to be a productive asset. And that's just a thing here in America, is like people think something should exist. Well, so there is a concept called I I think it's called not conscious consumption. But basically, it's like, is a status thing, have a productive asset that that's unproductive. Like, lawns originally were like a rich people thing. Because that was a way for them to, like, flex their wealth, is they could be like, I have a thing that's supposed to be a productive asset, but instead I have turned it into a place I can just look at and it looks nice. Fortunately, lawns being a rich people thing, that actually did trickle down, and, well, it trickled down for very specific reasons and historical reasons, but I don't want to get into that because it kind of does make me a little bit on the angry side. So, warming up. Move it over a little bit. Hello, welcome in, Lillian. I hope life's treating you pretty good. I've been good. Just sore due to physical labor, but otherwise good. And also, like, today's just been like a really good day to stream, which I was actually underestimating how comfortable I was going to be today, because when I started today, the air temperature was around freezing. And I was like, ooh, this might be a chilly one then. Yeah, fire's warm. Got warm fire, warm tea. Maybe a little bit too much smoke around me, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. I'm gonna throw these fresh peppers in here and see if I get a sizzle. Ooh, I got a nice light sizzle. Nice. Ooh. Some recent rounds of smoke. Very real. So, I've got the fresh pepper, and we hit this with the fresh pepper flakes. And this is going to be our main source of heat for ish. And then while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna read the next step. Because that's how I like to do this. Especially if I'm making, like, this is like a new thing. Yeah, so we're gonna just stir occasionally in the heat. This will cook for about roughly 5 minutes. Okay. Then we get to play with ginger. Nice. So I'm actually gonna use like a pickled ginger that you can get at like a Asian food mart, and for this, it's wrapped in plastic and I gotta de-wrap it. So I want to make sure I can reasonably get to it quickly once we get to that point. But we're gonna actually just cook this, because basically what we're doing with our pepper and oil is we're basically kind of making like a chili oil. And then I'm probably gonna put it right back into this dish, and it's gonna get set aside. So, next is going to be ginger, and then also garlic. Granted, also one of like the fun things about these style of streams where it's like colder in the morning. It is very how do I put this? It is like I don't have to worry about like really keeping my stuff cold. Like my various ingredients, because these are like the garlic and the ginger. They're traditionally like ingredients you want to keep cool. Don't want them to get like super hot or anything. So that's kind of like the nice thing about these cool morning days when I do this. But I'm really looking forward to actually like, because we should be, well, we as in where I live, we should be getting some like reasonably like cool, well, nice spring weather. It did dip below freezing last night, so I mean that's like a little bit on the chilly side, but I'm really looking forward to actually getting some like nice, proper spring weather. Because then I can start a lot of my spring crops, because I've got cabbage, broccoli that's going to go on the ground probably sometime next week. Onions. I might plant a few of my onions out next week, see how they do in the ground. I should also be able to get radishes going. Radishes are very cold tolerant, and they're good veg. Granted, radishes are veg that does need a support cast. I mean, like potatoes and onions, you can make an absolutely incredible dish with just potatoes and onions, with some other spices, and you all want to have like a little bit of salt with it. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to actually like getting the garden fired up and growing. And hopefully that'll probably be one of my main like focuses around here going into next week. And then after that, I still have 2 fairly large logs, maple logs, that I need to split up for firewood. So I would really like to get that done at some point, because every time I go to park my car in the driveway, I have to like slide my car between a basketball goal on one side and the big log. And I have the basketball goal for my hops, which I've been meaning to do something with my hop trellising, because I need to figure out a way to like have a taller trellis for the hops. Because right now, my current trellising is a little on the short side for hops. Okay, I think I'm just gonna let. We might let this cook for like a minute or two more. Great, I'm gonna finish off my green tea here. Grant, that's one of the nicest things with being out here is if I finish a tea bag, I can just chuck it into the garden. It will become part of the dirt. Just like how I will be at some point. Oh, hey Veneer. Welcome in, welcome in. Good evening, Sugi. How are you? I am good. I am very physically sore. Well, I wouldn't say like very physically sore, but somewhat physically sore. Because I've been having to wheelbarrow a whole bunch of wood chips out of my garden to make room for my peas that I would like to plant sometime this upcoming week. And between yesterday and Friday, I have moved over 40 wheelbarrow loads of wood chips. So, lots of physical labor on my part, but that also helps with weight. So, good. So, that done. I are chilly. Good here. Yeah. Really good. Actually. Excuse me a moment. I want to get a screenshot of that. There we go. Okay. And let's go ahead and listen here. To be a little awkward. get a bit. Happy about that. Real happy about that. Oh. A little bit. I'll be even downright ecstatic. Okay. That got most of that cleared off. Basically gonna be the chili oil. Just off the last little bit of seeds, and there we go. That off to the side. Hey, please and thank you. Oh. Okay. We're gonna now go. Sounds like a very eventful weekend. Yeah, I even brewed beer yesterday. At least compared to me. I try to stay busy. Guys who stay busy stay out of trouble. But it's kind of like the thing where, well, a lot of like doing stuff around here is, it's always like prep work for the next thing, because I have to like move the wood chips to make room for peas, but then I can also use like the wood chips to like nourish other areas of the garden, because I use a lot of wood chips in a lot of areas throughout my garden, mostly because wood chips are basically a free infinite resource. That should heat up quick. Make sure I have my spoon ready. How's this tea? Ooh. Nice and warm. A little too hot right now, but it'll be fine in a couple minutes. Let's see. Ginger, then... Yep. Ginger for 1 minute. Add garlic and another. Try for a minute. Be doing the ground beef. Okay, cool. Recipe calls for ground pork. I'm going to use ground beef because I used ground beef yesterday for taco soup, which is actually something that I've done before here on the channel. But since this was going to be like the last proper like cold and like chilly weekend, hopefully, I've got my fingers crossed on that. Hopefully, spring's gonna be here after this weekend. But I wanted to make soup yesterday, so I made a whole bunch of soup and froze some of it. Rest is in the fridge, and yeah. So I just took a little bit of the packet of like ground beef, set it to the side, and like, okay, I can use this tomorrow. Imagine this is a thing I should just be able to. Please don't fall down. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Nice. Oh. Do that. And then we're gonna cook this for a minute. Just gonna seal that back up. Hey now, don't escape. You're ginger. Ginger's delicious. Great, that's also a thing I need to consider working on at some point, is I need to consider growing some ginger. I actually grew some ginger 2 years ago, I want to say. I didn't try growing any last year, but it was the year before that. So that would have been the 2023 growing season. I did all right with it. I didn't get like a whole lot, but I did get a reasonable amount of ginger. I'd like to try that again. Granted, I might have to also try growing garlic this year. I am a fan of it, but Granted, I do really like working with this garlic though. Like, it is packaged, it is already in a state where I can like work with it. Because the thing is, when you like mince a garlic clove, it's very sticky. It's very sticky, and we're gonna let this cook for a minute. Then we'll do the ground. Recipe calls for ground pork. We're using ground beef because I'm a ground beef guy, and my body doesn't like pork products. It does reasonably all right with bacon. Bacon's like the one thing I can eat, and it not in my body be like, okay, this is fine. Okay, cool. Let's cook it. Okay, take the lid off this, because this is now the fun, exciting. I have to do things in very particular orders and reasonably quickly. Good. Drop our meat into our dish. A little frying pan, and I'm gonna attempt to break this up. Which I might have to bring a fork in, make my life a little. Should be reasonable. But we'll now be giving this stirs occasionally. Try to just continue breaking up ground beef. Get it into nice bite-sized pieces. There, we're there. How are we doing over here? We're doing well. Ooh. I just got like a real nice whiff of like the smell of the skillet just now, and I was like, oh man, that smells amazing. Really amazing. I mean, granted, we have garlic and ginger. I mean, garlic and ginger are absolutely amazing, especially together. Very strong tag team that ginger and garlic are. Like it's settling down. Really working with pretty low heat, which is fine. I was actually expecting that to burn a little bit. That's firewood. I'll add that. Let's get a little bit more heat going here. Pretty good amount of coals at this point, but actually expecting a bit more responsiveness for browning up. Granted, the good thing is when you're like cooking at a low heat, you don't risk burning your ingredients. Bit more heat in my fire over here. Yeah. I'm used to this browning up a little bit quicker, so we're just gonna let that do its thing for a quick second. Talking of meat, tomorrow evening I got a marriage reception to attend. That means a lot of food. For girls, wedding means dresses, selfie for us. 100% food focus. Hey, there you go. There you go. I mean, food's good. especially considering it's like a celebration. So like it's gonna be like, it's not just gonna be like regular food. It's gonna be like celebration food, which is better than regular food. Which that's kind of like what this dish is supposed to be, like a kind of more regular food dish, because it's just supposed to be like a comfort food. But yeah, another thing regarding recipe is I'm supposed to use Szechuan peppercorns with this. I actually have not sourced any for this, just because I'm just gonna work with the ingredients I've got, because, well, that's just what I want to do. Yes, celebration food, yum, yes. Granted, it was real funny. When my sister got married, she and her husband-to-be, they both agreed on having Qdoba do the catering for their wedding. And their wedding had Qdoba Catering, which is like a fast casual chain here in the US. And being of the family, which, I mean, I like Qdoba. Qdoba's good stuff, but it's basically Tex-Mex food. And after the wedding and all the fun stuff, me and one of my cousins, we were like relaxing in one of the hotel rooms, and we just like grabbed one, because like it was a catered meal, and they had like ginormous bags of corn chips. So we just like cracked open this ginormous bag of corn chips, got some salsa, and me and my cousin, we just went ham on this chips and salsa. We went ham on the chips and salsa, and then we just played catch up with what was going on in our lives. It was real good. It was real good. It's like those small, like, magical moments in life where it's just like, you're a little bit in a different situation than normal, which is kind of what like highlights it. But you're having a good time the whole time. You're in a novel situation. That's the word I want. Novel situation. Like one time, I was attending was it a volunteer celebration? I think it was a volunteer celebration. But it was a volunteer celebration at the park I volunteer at, and I was playing board games in this conference center, and the conference center used to be a doctor's house. And the roof, not the roof of like the conference center, but like the ceiling. The ceiling of this conference room we were in was tiled. And it was tiled because it was the doctor's x-ray room. So he had it like tiled and everything. But I think we're getting really close to where we want to be with our ground beef. Because I'm trying to trying to make sure it's no longer pink, but I also have the pink ginger in there, and it's messing with me a little bit. But I am going to check recipe, because I'm at the point where I am not spices. Okay, so I am skipping some stuff. So I'm gonna skip the spicy soybean oil, because I don't want to buy like a jar thing just for like one dish. But ready? Okay. So we are gonna be using a little bit. Well, actually, I need to double check, make sure. Okay, so the chili oil is gonna get added later. Okay. answer for me. So here I'm going to add in just a little bit of cornstarch. I don't need a lot. This is going to get incorporated with some water. And basically the purpose of all of this is to help be like a thickening agent for the spices and the kind of the pseudo sauce we're making here. Got quite a bit. But kind of largest chunks of. That's. Because I am skipping the Szechuan peppercorns and the spicy bean sauce. Yeah, and they also call for adding chicken broth to help like mix it all up, and then you will add cornstarch mixture, which yep, and let's add the okay, cool. So we're actually like getting pretty close to the getting towards the end of the steps. That's water mixed with, and that's just going to be a thickening agent. I don't know if it's super necessary given the fact that we're primarily working with I'm not using as many spices as the original recipe calls for. Ooh, I'm glad I'm getting close to the I'm glad I'm getting close to the clear point, because the sun might come into my eyes within the next 15 minutes, half hour, but so far so good. We're doing really well with time and everything. No, I just gotta make sure I'm diligent with my stirring. That this part in the process, always like in cooking, where it's like you get closer to the end and you're like getting closer to your meal and you get excited, but it's also like you also gotta tell yourself to hold your horses. Otherwise, you'll ruin all this wonderful food that you've worked hard on. I don't want to ruin the wonderful food I've worked hard on. Yeah, this is... The recipe was pretty spot on with, like... Definitely not a long thing at all. But yeah, I'm gonna just wait for... Let's see. Not sure. I can kind of see it. But I'm gonna wait for my fluid to cook down a little bit. And I think at that point I can... Well, I can actually add chili oil. And then I can add tofu. And then I'll just mix it all. I'll cook for 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll be ready to plate. So we're doing wonderful today. Or at least I am. I'm gonna have some really good food at the end of this. And I'm kind of wondering what I can do for like a... If I were to try this again. Because I'm kind of skipping 2 of the ingredients. I'm kind of wondering if I should... Like maybe... Part of me kind of wants to go with Tabasco sauce. Just because it's a more reddish sauce. Because mapo tofu has a really reddish color. which I think that comes from the Szechuan peppercorns, I believe. I entirely don't know. I am not. I am very lacking on my knowledge of Chinese cuisine. But I'm here making a dish I've never made before, so I'm also working to expand the food I know how to make. Even if I'm kind of shortcutting things a little. So I'm going to go ahead. We're looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and throw in much as my chili oil from earlier. Because this is supposed to be where a lot of our heat's going to come from. Out, and then that should have a dish around here with tofu. Ah! It was under my. But yeah. So, tofu. And then we're gonna fully incorporate this. And this is basically nearly all of our ingredients right now. The only one remaining is the green onions, and I think I will just throw those in at the end. For now, this will cook. I'll probably cook for a little while because the fire's running on a pretty low amount of heat. Or poker. You'd be surprised how much extra heat you can get out of fire with just shifting some stuff around. Just gonna kind of bring my logs a little bit closer together to get a little bit more heat going here. Plates there, that's all good. Yeah. Ah. But yeah, as part of my research for well, I really like this one anime, Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill, that came out like, I think 2 years ago or something. Ooh. Oh. Whoopsies. Sorry about that. But yeah. I watched an episode yesterday to do a little bit of research for the next thing I wanted to do, and I think next week what I would like to do here at the campfire would be to make black bean burgers. Because he made cutlets. Yeah, and he just made like hamburger steak, the Japanese variety of that. But I'm actually thinking about making a proper black bean hamburger. So I'm not super big on like regular hamburgers. Granted, I do also like a really good lentil burger. And that will also be like a really good opportunity for me to incorporate a little bit more vegetarian cuisine. Because I know I generally tend to cook a lot of somewhat meat-related dishes here, but that's just because those are typically the recipes I just find, and I'm just like, hey, sure, let's make this. Granted, I didn't even know mapo tofu called for any sort of ground meat until I started reading the recipe and doing research on it. So I think it'll be fun to do a vegetarian themed one next time. So, and then that one will probably happen Saturday next week, because next week I'm going to be on call at work. So basically it means I could have work. I could go out on calls after standard work hours or whatever. So I generally try to like cut back a little bit and take. I have to like schedule my streams for when I'm not on calls because I might have to do work. I might not. I don't know. So just taking that into consideration going into next week. So, but I do like. Granted, personally, I'm a big fan of, like, if I can plan out next week at the end of, like, the current week, that makes me so happy and very excited because it's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I just have to, like, actually just, like, open up Canva and, like, set the schedule and I'm good to go. I love it. I like it when I have everything planned out. Versus when I'm just like, man, what am I doing? I don't know yet. I don't like that. But yeah, I'm probably going to be sticking with my... Oh yeah, that I will say that. Because I'm on call and my on-call hours are usually in the mornings, I probably won't be doing a Sunday morning stream. The Black Burger cooking stream, that will probably happen Saturday evening, my time. Which I think I might schedule it for like 7 p.m. I actually will not know the hours I'm on call until... Well, I won't know my weekend hours until like Friday, but generally speaking, I'm either on call from... Because I'm on call to either 1 usually or 4 p.m. my time on the weekends. And then during the weekdays, I'm on call from whenever I get off work to usually 7 p.m. Sometimes 6, but it'll probably be 7. So I'll be like, okay, it's whatever. I think we're getting real close with this. Nothing's sticking. We're not burning things. I just want to make sure, because the tofu is kind of in like... It's in these like nice big cubey chunks. I really want to make sure I get it thoroughly cooked. So I'm just going to be really taking my time with it on this. So, but who knows? We'll see how next week goes, and because since I also have like, we're now kind of starting to get into like the more proper like spring gardening season. I really want to like make an effort to stay on top of all the stuff I've got going on at the homestead. So these 2 streams a week is probably going to be the normal quite some time. Granted, I'm also traveling. Come on. Traveling the weekend after next? Yeah, I'm traveling the weekend after next. So that also... Man, I won't be... It's going to be... Oh no. It's going to be a while before I get to do a Sunday stream again. Ooh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay, well, who knows? Because I'm actually going to be out of town like twice this month, so... I don't know. We might try and do something next Sunday. I don't know. I will not, like, promise and commit to it, but I'll see what I do. Because this is, like, usually when I have, like, people show up. During this time slot. Oh. Granted, that tofu's starting to color up, and I like that. That's a good sign, so... I see a couple pieces still haven't, like, really fully colored, so I'm just going to continue to let this simmer. I'm going to let it simmer. I'm going to let it do its thing, and then once I feel like I'm close... I'll hit it with the green onions, and, well, hit it with the green onions, let it cook for about a minute, and we should be done. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward meal today, but after all the physical labor I've been doing the past few days, this is very welcomed. And also, we've got ground beef for protein, and we have tofu for protein, which my body definitely needs a lot of both right now. My body needs a lot of protein right now. And I'm also real happy with the serving size. This is a perfectly manageable serving size for little old me. Because... What was the one dish I made? I made the guilt-ridden yakisoba from Eurocamp last year, and goodness gracious, I had so much food. I had so much food. And like, oh yeah, they did like make this as like a dish to be shared, and that's another thing I have to keep an eye out for when I'm looking for recipes to cook is like, can I scale this recipe to the level of little old me? But yeah, you know what? I'm pretty happy with this. It with the green onions. We'll just let it cook with the green onions for a little bit, and then yeah, off. Give it a taste, and we'll see how we're doing. So far, so good. It hasn't been like super fragrant as a dish, but I think for my first attempt at this, I think I'll be happy with my result. Which, at the end of the day, when you're cooking food for yourself, having a result that you're happy with is pretty much the ideal outcome. I feel it. It's my ideal outcome. And if it's like, ooh, okay, this is good, but I feel like I can take it a next step further, then that's motivation for cooking it again. Because that's one of the fun things about like cooking dishes you don't really like make a whole lot like regularly is it's a little bit of variety in the spice of life, you know? Well, variety is the spice of life, but it's a variety to it. Really, the only thing I'm like kind of super disappointed with is the fact that I don't have as much of like a red color to it. But that's also because, granted, I could also see that being due to some of my omitted ingredient. So, oh, salt it. Not be salty, but I'll just take that as a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna take that off the heat. My plate, one plate. Eight. Ooh, very bright. Which the sun has clearly shifted since we started stream. Because earlier, the shadow line was here, and now it's way over here. And I'm going to really pay attention to this, too. Figure out... Because this canopy is definitely a lifesaver. Because I got real tore up by the sun when I was doing campfire ravioli. And I really wanted to do that today. So far, I have been successful in my endeavor. Okay, careful, careful, careful. It can be kind of a plate of food. Good thing as far as I'm concerned. And that's the skillet clean. Rest over there. Out of the... Is it pretty? Oh yeah. Bada bang, bada boom. Campfire cooking. I don't know if it's get better in the sun or the shade, but hey, mapo tofu. And I'm gonna finish my tea off before I get into it, because I'm actually gonna have a fun treat but that's also responsible. And that fun treat is going to be a non-alcoholic beer. This is Athletics Hazy IPA. Oh. And in my opinion, beer is best enjoyed with food. And this is non-alcoholic, so it's got none of the bad stuff. But it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. Honestly, one of the best things about non-alcoholic beer is it's less calories. So, this is steaming. This is hot. Give this a nice taste. Ah. Huh? Wow. Okay. Okay. Very okay. So this is supposed to be spicy. And it is spicy. But best of all, it's not so spicy that I can't handle it. So I'm really happy about that. Because this is like near perfect spice for me. It's got a nice like kick, but it doesn't like, it's not brutal to me. Yeah, it's a real nice kick. It hits you. Yeah, this is the level of spice I like. Okay, so I'm gonna take tofu's pretty cooked thoroughly. Yeah, more thoughts after next bite. Okay. So, heat, perfect. Perfect. Enough to make my tongue go tingle. This probably would have been a lot better with actual Szechuan peppercorns, but they're a little bit difficult to source. I would have to turn to Amazon and have that stuff delivered. Then I have these and like, okay, what do I do with these now? After like the dish, whatever. But this is really good. Definitely would be better if I put a little bit more effort to make a sauce for it. Maybe like Worcestershire sauce would be good. Yeah, I mean, like, I am in no ways disappointed by this. It's good, but it can definitely be better. It is definitely. I just didn't really. I guess omitting the spicy bean mix and the peppercorns really like shortchanged me on sauce. So if I were to make this again, but still constrain myself with the ingredients choice selection, I would definitely try to figure out a way to make this with like more of a sauce. Because if this is, because this with like a little bit more of a sauce would be like amazing. This is good. I'm very happy with it, and I am so happy with it. I need to take a picture for like my personal, because that's how, because I am one of those people. Take pictures of my food like anyone else does. Especially because it might be a little whited out for like you guys. Huh? It's either too dark or it's either too dark or too light. But like I really like the colors on this, like the red ginger. Well, the red pickled ginger, that's good. Definitely a nice like pink color. We've got the green onions. Tofu is slightly different than the ground beef. All good stuff. It actually looks photogenic, which is rarely the case for me when I make food. Sometimes I make food and it's certainly a food-like substance in terms of looks, but the taste is there, and that's genuinely speaking, half the time that's all I care about. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I want to like yap a little bit more. I might want to yap a little, but I don't know. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to like talk about. Like, kind of discussed upcoming plans for next week. Yeah, because even though I will be on call, it would be nice to do a stream. But I will. That's going to be really played by ear on my part, so not going to promise anything now. Also need to keep in mind some of my stuff I've got going on as far as like my shore pipeline, and also in my continual urge to put myself through situations that are difficult for me, at least in the sense of, ooh, here's an idea of something to do, but that's also a lot of work. I have a few other things of that nature going on. But yeah, let's see. Well, I will say, I will actually be doing, it will not be soonish, but it will be like later this month-ish. But we'll actually do potato sowing on stream. Like we'll actually plant potatoes stream, and I'll be able to do because I have a whole bunch of like containers that I like to grow potatoes in. Believe it or not, the first stream I ever did was planting potatoes. But that was also back before I knew what OBS audio filters were, and I was streaming on a laptop versus a dedicated machine like I have today. I am really looking forward to having a nice proper revenge match on that. So, but yeah, I don't think I have a lot to bring to the table today, so I brought my food to my little table. That's all I managed to do today. So sorry today was like a shorter stream, but this was like quick and easy and wasn't going to take a lot out of me. And I'm at a point right now in life where I am doing a lot of stuff that's taking a lot out of me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll be wrapping up stream today. I would like to thank everyone very much for stopping in and saying hi, and yeah, I'm definitely be doing 2 streams next week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be back here for Sunday morning, and so yeah, just because I gotta take care of myself, and I hope all you guys out there, you guys go take care of yourselves, because only when we can take care of ourselves that we can take care of other people. And yeah, so this is Sugiyawa. Whatever you got going on in your life, I hope you're living the best life you possibly can. And regardless if it's night, evening, day, whatever it is, whatever time it is, wherever you're at, I hope you have a wonderful day. And since it's Sunday, I hope you all have a good week as well. And with that, I'd like to say goodbye.